Okay, let's go live. Let's go live and welcome. We are live, and this is the first episode of China Ratchet Daily. We China Ratchet Daily. This is episode one. I figured, hey man, like I'm getting all of these people that's coming on. Yesterday I got like 200. I got 200 people on the live stream. Like me or hate me, it's still 200 people. You know what I mean? So I'm about that life. And so we're gonna put a goal here. I mean, I want like at least five super chats, man. Come on, five super chats. I'm doing China Ratchet. Five super chats of $5 or higher. I think that's good. Set a timer for 1 hour. If you want me to do China Ratchet, man, like donate to the cause. I will do China Ratchet. The reason why I say I'm gonna do China Ratchet is because the summer is here. I'm not working. Okay, so I want to another stream of revenue. Basically, my stuff is starting like next week. So I took a day off from school to do this live stream. I say, listen, I'm getting some extra people. I got to make a sacrifice here. And so right now, what I have is I have this thing is called Dragon's Milk. Okay. Beer companies need to start endorsing streamers. This is called Dragon's Milk Reserve. How do you do that? They go like this. How do you do that? So the camera don't get all messed up. How do you do that? So this is Dragon's Milk Reserve. Coffee chocolate, madcap coffee, bourbon barrel aged, 11% alcohol. It ain't playing. And so I drank one. I'm kind of feeling the effect. At first I thought it was too strong, but then after a while you just kind of get used to it. This one costs for 4 bottles is about $17.50. So I don't know, it may be too steep for some people, but it's 11% alcohol. So that means one of these is worth two of your average beers. Okay. So that's why you only get four. That's why they so damn doggone stingy. But the taste, oh, it's sublime. It's sublime. They call it dragon's milk for something. I look more like a movie villain. Yes. Oh, thank you for naming me that. I could be a movie villain. So I was gonna call this stream. So this is gonna be like an hour and a half stream, and I figure I'm gonna do this every few days. China Ratchet episode one, China Ratchet episode two, because in the summer, my kid's gonna be here, and I gotta stay here because my wife is out working, and ain't nobody take care of the kids. So I gotta stay here, and I decided, well, if I'm gonna stay here, let me try to monetize me staying here. At least monetize it. I'm 200. Listen up, guys. I'm 200 subscribers from getting monetized. So at least y'all can help me with that. And the other thing is, put some donations in, $5. That's not a lot. And if y'all want this China Ratchet, hook it up. And what I'm gonna do with that, I mean, I promise you, at least you're gonna have one of these a week. At least one of these a week, because there's a lot of stuff coming out of China right now. And I know y'all love China Ratchet, and I was like, I've been trying to like reinvigorate this franchise for the longest. I think I 2 times I tried and it failed, but I think this time it can do it because I ain't got nothing to do. I don't got nothing to do. Ratchet! So I might as well do China Ratchet, right? it's either that or playing video games and watching my kids because I can't go looking for a job or anything because who's gonna take care of the kids? Yeah, so I'm gonna do some China Ratchet, and today this is the China Ratchet news. So I got some stuff that I want to play, and then I got some opinions on stuff. So the main issue is, of course, Marco Rubio and Donald Trump talking about how they are going to, um, you know, throw out all the Chinese folks. Oh, somebody said, "Oh, had a good time watching old stuff on the other channel." So yeah, we're gonna get back to that. We getting back to that. Okay, guys. So we getting back to that. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna have it like 1,000 people because I think when you're on mobile, you can get like 100 people. They all watch you, but when you do it like this, you might not get as much people, right? So, but China Ratchet episode 1 is gonna be with this. I can show you videos and stuff of other people's stuff. In my mobile, I can't really show you videos. Okay. So I'm going to be going back and forth between those two. If I'm in a car, I'm going to be doing the mobile. If I'm here and I'm chilling, I'm just going to be doing the computer. So everything's like that. So I know when I'm doing the computer, I ain't going to get no more than 10 people coming on this channel at once. So I'm doing that. So let's get down to business. So the first thing that we got to talk about is this lady is going viral. Now, I'm going to put the video up. The problem is when you do these kind of videos, I have to like name the video because if I don't name the video, I can't find it. Okay? So I'm just going to name her Salty Girl. And then I'm going to make it play and then that's it. Unfortunately, that's what I got to do to make these videos work, to make it more convenient. Okay, so I got this girl stuff here. Okay, ooh, good. Salty girl is up on there, and then I got another one that I got to do, which is what was that one? Cause I gotta, you gotta screen record because uh WeChat doesn't allow you to upload or download some stuff. I may subscribe to what's on Weibo because they be having ratchet shit on there. I mean, ratchet stuff on there a lot. Okay, so I may have to do that, and I'm also going to take the tags off of uh, this StreamYard. But that's for me. About that's going to be $34 a month. So all I got to do is get $35 a month, and I'll keep on going. Okay, so just envision that there's $35 a month, which I know some of you got, $2 or $3 a time on here. It's not a big thing to ask, like $2 or $3, right? A cup of coffee. Buy the flag a cup of coffee, and I will entertain you. Don't you want to be entertained? Don't you want to be entertained? I will entertain you. Okay, I tell you, I'm the funniest mother brother out here. I tell you that. Okay, so I got 2 videos. Let me put one of these. And also, if I do the StreamYard video and I start buying it, I get 180p instead of 720p. Because nobody doing 720p anymore, right? But except the flag's broke ass and this broke ass goddamn channel. That's the one doing 720p. But we trying to evolve, man. We trying to evolve. Okay, so what I got here, I got another video. Woo! Yeah, I got to put this up too. So let me name that. All right. Oh man. Okay. So I got two. Oops. Ooh, 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 ooh. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Cause you gotta check. Cause you always gotta check these, man. Cause YouTube don't be playing. Or okay. So I'm gonna put that one here. Okay. And then I got a picture. Oh, I don't even have to do that. I don't have to do that. Okay, I don't even have to do that. Okay, so here we go. Let's get it on, like Marvin Gaye used to say. So the first video I got is this white woman going off on a foreigner because he's dating Chinese women that are younger than him. Okay, so she mad salty, and I just call this shit Ratchet, a ratchet white chick. She angry because there's these people, us, that we found another, what can I call it, fountain of youth, or Ponce de Leon, a place where we can have fun. And it ain't no fun where the homies can't have none. And she's pissed off because she's not getting laid. Okay, so let's let's get to that. So I'm gonna present that here, video file. Oh yeah. Let's see where that is. Oh, I'll put the salty girl. All right, so we're gonna play this video. The only thing I don't like is like you can't rewind and stuff, but it's okay. Well, I haven't learned how to do it yet. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this girl is pissed off because I guess she's in China, and dudes don't want to date her. See, a lady like this girl right here, even though she's just average looking or even below average looking, she would have 10 if she was on a dating site. She would have 10 to 15. No, 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 no. 100. Okay, men wanting to mess with her. Maybe not marry, but like screw around or do whatever. When she go to China, ain't nobody even trying to screw around with her except like Chinese, and that's like some Chinese, because Chinese happy with their women, with their Chinese women. They don't even want to go to Western women because they know how many, they know the body count. Okay, so they're not even trying to mess with like Western women that much. Okay, but you do have these women that go to China, and they had that privilege in the United States or in Western countries, and they come here and they can't even give the pussy away. Okay, they can't even give the poontang away. Excuse me, I'm not gonna curse. I'm trying not to curse so I can get more subscribers. So they're not gonna even give the poontang away. They can't even give the poontang away because um you know why they can't even give the poontang away, because when you go to China, it's just like a smorgasbord. Okay, and this girl is, she's salty, and that's why I call her salty girl. So let's see what she got to say.
Okay, I'm not going to name names because I know it's not fair. I'm not going to say who these users are, but there's a young Chinese girl on here who came into my comment section to defend an American man, a 58-year-old American man who lists himself as an English teacher. And I was wondering, is this pretty common?
Okay, stop. Aren't you listing yourself as probably an English teacher too? And if you had a man that you liked and he was 10 or 15 years younger, wouldn't you take him? I'm sure she would, because she's very what do you call those type of people like her? Like homely. Okay. So she's very homely looking. If you go to China, American guys not even looking your way unless they just want to like get their rocks off or anything, and they just like it look all the same in the dark. That's it. You're not getting nobody that's gonna be serious with you. I mean, even in America, like in America, she probably getting something because American men, as me as an American, they just desperate. Okay, American men are pretty much desperate. They'll bang anything that walks, especially black men. They'll bang anything that got a pulse. Okay, as opposed to you got a lot of white men who, when they pick the opposite of their like another opposite of their race or something, they always pick quality black women. They pick the finest wine of black women, right? When it comes to black men, we don't pick the finest wine. Oh shoot! Oh, and said that's a lie. What is a lie? Because if she's in America and she's on a dating app, what's going to happen is, oh, you said, oh, Earl said no, bang anything, nope. Well, that's for Earl. Earl say I'm not banging anything that walks, okay? But I know from experience that when you go on those dating apps, they will smash like black folks smash anything that walk. Not all black folks, but you got the desperate kind. And the reason why I say smash anything that walk because look at the things that be walking around that be getting pregnant. You see all the police bids, all those other kind of I arrested you bids because you stole from Target and all that, and a lot of them be pregnant or they got 10 kids, and it's like it's alive, it's alive. And it's like who's smashing that? Like yeah, who's smashing? So that's what I say. And when the kids come out, they dark skinned, so it's like who's smashing that? I can't even say it's only black folks, because you also got excuse me, white folks smashing anything that walk, white men. But I would think more on the black side because it's like, whoa. But Earl is saying, nah, Earl. Like, I'm not smashing anything that walks. But this woman, uh, she will be, she will be uh put up on a pedestal in United States. If she's on a dating app, she won't even answer you because she got too many ninjas wanting to do something with her. And so she got all this choice. So when she come to China and ain't nobody paying attention to her, she gets salty. And that's why I call her the salty girl. Because yeah, they do get salty when they can't even get smashed. I'm gonna tell you, man, when I was in China and I was in my single life, like the white girls that I couldn't get in America because you too short. They say some shit. Oh, you don't got you're not this muscular. Even though she's like, you like 200 pounds, man. You like 180 pounds. You like 5 foot. Like, why I have to be 6 feet if you 5 foot and I'm 5'6"? Like, I'm 5'6". I'm a full 6 inches taller than you. Even with 6-inch heels, we're the same size. So what? Like, you gotta artificially you gotta artificially change your height to meet up with mine and then say I gotta be taller. That shit don't help. That's why I don't care that I got like false teeth, that I got false teeth. Chicken, you got false hair. You got false eyebrows. You know what I mean? You got a facelift. You got false ass. You got a false lot. The only thing that false on me is my teeth. You know what I mean? So Don't come at me with none of that stuff. But that's what a lot of girls in America do. They want you to be all these things. Like if I was at dinner and I just took out my teeth in the middle to eat, right? They gonna they gonna look at me like crazy. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yo, aren't you taking off when you eating with me? Aren't you taking off your what do you call that thing that they got now? Those skull caps. I don't even know what you call them. They look like those water bottle things that you use to heal yourself if the hot water bottle things. I even forgot what you call them. They got these things on their head like this. I don't even know what you call them. What you call the things that they got on their head, right? And it's totally ratchet. They got all these things on their head, and I'm like, you got these things on your head that you wear to bed, and you wearing it out in the open, and you saying I gotta be 6 feet tall, and I gotta have perfect teeth, and look at you, everything on you is fake, and why I gotta be everything 100% real, and why I gotta be like a bodybuilder and everything, where your stomach look like a 3-layer cake. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of women demanding stuff, and they not up to par themselves, right? And this is one of these types of women where you can see she's not up to par. And when she was in America, she was all like, I'm asking for this, I want this, I want that, I want this. And then you see her, and I'm like, you look like the Pillsbury Dough girl. You ain't looking perfect at all. And now she's in China and nobody's picking her. And now she got to lower her standards. And so in America, I mean, in China, I was smashing white girls that I wouldn't normally smash in America because they had lost all hope. And all they had was flag. All they had was me. So I was like, yeah, that's all you got. Right? And they was like, when they was in America, they would have all these black guys with 10-inch penises just slaying them, right? And me with my little 7, 8 inch penis uh slaying. Like nah, you know. Like, yo, it ain't my fault, you know? So that's how it is. So I just take it how I see it when I was in China. Oh, you ain't finding no Chinese mistress fights. There ain't no more of those. There's no more of those Chinese mistress fights. They don't even play those no more. You got to go to a special place, and I haven't found it yet. When I find it, I'll bring it back. You can't bring it back to YouTube, so ain't no Chinese mistress fights happening on this place. But we gonna have some ratchet stuff though. So let's say this woman talk.
Okay, I'm not going to name names because I know it's not fair. I'm not going to say who these users are, but there's a young Chinese girl on here who came into my comment section to defend an American man, a 58-year-old American man who lists himself as an English teacher. And I was wondering, is this pretty common in China for expats or foreigners to come to China and go after Chinese women who are significantly younger than them because they think that Asian women are somehow naive or different than Western women and will be easier to control and manipulate? Because the fact that she's coming to his defense when he has clearly shown that, first of all, he lies about his videos. He didn't make the videos. He steals them from other people and then posts them for attention. He's lying about being an English teacher, and he's a 58-year-old man talking to super, super young Chinese girls. What do you think?
Listen, let the dude be who he want to be. That's my thing. Let the dude be who he's 58. As long as he ain't bringing down black folks. If he start bringing down black folks, then I gotta come get him. But if he want to do what he want to do, let him do what he want to do. It seems to me that you secretly like this dude, and that's why you chasing after him. You got some subconscious stuff that's a dude that you would throw shade at if he was in your country, if he was in America and you was in America and you was on a dating app and you wouldn't even answer him like that. So what I find in on China on American dating apps, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I do the dating app, and it's only because I just want to do some kind of like I need some content. You know, that's one. Also, I want to see how the modern American woman is. So me going on a dating app is the same like basically watching these like Facebook videos of cops arresting ratchet ass women. So I do that just for entertainment. You know, I'm actually happy in my life. I get enough poontang where I don't have to do or go anywhere or go straight anywhere. You know, I'm happy. What can I say about that? They got a saying for this, and it is a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So my bird in the hand, I'm happy with it. I ain't trying to mess it up. The poontang is good. Everything is great. We fine. My libido is great. So I don't need to go elsewhere. I'm satisfied of getting poontang a couple times a week. That's fine. But I want to see how the American people are doing, men are doing. And so, you get on this app and just the women that have these unexpected expectations. I feel sorry for American men. I just do. They won't answer you unless you um unless you say something negative to them or you challenge what they're saying. If you say, "Hey, oh, you're a beautiful girl," they won't answer you. Any kind of positive feedback from you, they will not answer. And I've been on several dating sites. I just want to because I want to try because I know back in the days I was like, American man, you can just do that and do that, and I saw the whole game wrong, right? And so I went back to study the game. And no matter what you say, nice, okay, they won't answer unless you like super handsome, right? They will not answer, okay? They will not answer you unless you insult them. If you insult them, this is the secret to getting the girl you want in America. Insult them or just be on this game like challenging what they say. Like you speaking bullshit, I don't believe nothing you say, and then they gotta validate themselves, and they can't help it that they gotta validate themselves, and then that's when they answer you, and that's how you can get in. If you really like a woman, don't say nothing nice to her in America or American dating sites. Don't say anything. Don't say you're beautiful. I guarantee you, you will not get an answer unless you like a 10 in handsomeness. Okay, if you like me and you like a 5 or some shit, um, yeah, I put my real picture there. The only time I get an answer is when I insult women, when I insult them, and then they have to like come back with something, or when I challenge their traditional thinking or their conventional thinking with an insult. You know what I'm saying? If you say something like, "Damn, girl, you hot. Let me take you out to dinner." Like, I'll test it. I'll test the what. I say, "Yo, let me take you out to." They will not answer. But when they say some shit like, there's this one girl who said some shit. She said, F all these men that wanna she looked like Jennifer Tully. And she said, F all these men that wanna first time they talk to me, they wanna cuddle with me. And so I'm like, now men wanting to cuddle with a woman, is suspect. What the F? I said, what the F? I didn't say, oh, I don't want to cuddle with you. And then you placate her desire, her perceived desire. You placate her. She ain't gonna answer you with that. If you answer like a challenge, like just because I want to cuddle with you, I'm a weirdo. Get the fuck out of here. Like GTFOH. Oh, she answered me with the quickness because she got to validate her stuff. And I'm like, and then I answer her back. I'm like, if I answered you with something positive, you wouldn't even talk to me. They won't talk to you if you answer with something positive. Only if it's negative. I'm telling you, I'm doing research for y'all. Okay, because I already done it. I'm in China. I know how the game go. So I don't need to go through all this other stuff. I'm just showing y'all, at least what they call the incels, how to play the game. If you say something nice, unless you're like a 9 or 8, you're not getting an answer because they get hundreds of messages a day. So what you got to do, you got to. I mean, they're not even worth it, even if you asking me. But just to get your revenge and say like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm telling you, 90% when I do like negative comments to them, they will answer back. 100% positive comments, no response. I shit you not. 100% positive comments, they do not answer you back. When you do the negative stuff, oh my God, they are all over you. They're like, because they're trying to validate themselves, you know. And I see that. It don't matter how ugly you are after that. And that's how you got to try to get in. If you only like Western women and that's how you roll, you're only going to get in with the condescending comments, with the negative comments. You're not going to get in with the positive comments. Even if you somewhat handsome, you're not going to get in because these women on here just to validate themselves. That's it. Okay, I took enough of a sample to know. So it's just like you bored, you're looking through Facebook or whatever, and I could do example Facebook dating or whatever, right? Plenty. I don't know those Tinders. Because Tinder, you can't. I don't know if you could say something. Well, other the ones where you could say something back to them, right? If you could just like them and not say something, you're not gonna get nothing. If you can say like a comment back, like some kind of snide comment, they will only answer to snide comments. They won't answer to something that's positive, like, "Oh my God, you're a beautiful woman. Can I take you out to dinner?" They won't answer to that. It's just be like, "Yo, you sound like a 304 to me." Then they'll answer. You know. Then they'll answer because they got to validate themselves, right? And then that's how you worm your way in. If you really like that girl and you want to get her, it's like you got to negative, negative, negative gate her like crazy, like because she has to validate herself. She's online to validate how beautiful she is or how much of a cat she is. Even the ugly, fat, nasty ones, they're all the same. You know, the fat one is the same as the most beautiful one. Okay, I'm just telling you that the ugly one is the same as the most beautiful one. They're all the same. They're all there to validate themselves, and you are there to validate them because even the fat one got 20 comments, 20 people saying they like her. And so she now all of a sudden she feel important. She feels like you feel when you go to China, when the biggest loser goes to China. That's how she feels, right? And so now the biggest losers are going to China or going to Asian countries or they're going abroad and they getting these chicks, and now these chicks like her getting salty because they're like, nah, we're not taking that crap no more. We going abroad, right? And so we then found the key, right? Because ain't what before wasn't no way out for y'all. Now's a way out. You can go abroad. You can go to Dominican Republic. You some average looking dude. If you street smart, you can get what you want to get. You go to Cuba, you go to one of these places. These girls, dude, you go to Colombia and you go to the right places. These girls are throwing themselves at you. Normal, you normal. Dominican Republic, you getting some hot girl, some hot women there. You just gotta be street smart. You gotta know how to navigate the roads. With China, you don't know how, you don't have to do that. With Thailand, you don't know how, you don't have to do that. You just gotta know how to navigate which places to go that will hit you off. You don't have to navigate like the crime aspect. But in Colombia, that's what you got to do. You got to navigate like a place where you ain't gonna get killed or jacked for your jewelry, right? Like my black dude back in the days who got killed for his necklace. I think his girlfriend killed him for the house and for the restaurant, but that's neither here nor there. I can't prove it. Okay, so this girl, I gotta put it in the Ratchet Hall of Fame. Okay, Ratchet, because you hate. Okay, so we're gonna see what people got to say about this. Center of universe where younger Chinese men go after round-faced white women. Well, you do have younger Chinese men that go after round-faced white women, but to get into the United States or to get into these other foreign countries or to get laid, they might just want to try something different because these Western women don't require a house to get laid, right? And they only want to dip something in some sauce, right? It don't got to be the special Sichuan sauce. It could be the European sauce or the ketchup. They want to dip something, they French fry in the ketchup. And so they would choose a round faced American women. And these American women, when they go into China, they have a remote interest in Chinese men. It's possible that that's what they want to do. Maybe they couldn't get into Korea. They'd rather go to Korea because the Korean men in their eyes look good. But they're gonna settle with the Chinese men if they can find one, which is kind of hard. When you compare them to the Korean pop stars and all that other stuff. So they can go with the imitation crab, uh, just to get the royal oats off. And I think she angry because Western men not looking at her like they looked at her when she was in America. And she went to China just to do her thing. And they're not looking at her like that. They're looking at her like, oh, this is something. I don't want to walk around with something like this, like walking around. I feel embarrassed. But in the nighttime, I'll smash. I had a few girls like that, and you don't want to take them out in the daytime. You treat them like Michael Jackson's Thriller. Thriller! You don't take them out in the daytime. You take them out at night. I had a few women like that. I was like, I'll meet you in the night. I ain't meet you in the daytime. Ratchet! This 11% is doing good. I find a lot of white ladies think that the Chinese or Asian women are really young. I find a lot of white ladies think, oh, he look very handsome guy. He ain't have no problems getting no women. He ain't have no problems getting no women. That's what I say. The Asian man can't get this dude smashing women left and right. So I find a lot of white ladies think that the Chinese or Asian women are really young. And that might not be the case. It's true. Ratchet! The first episode, guys. At least for the summer, this is gonna be going on. The fam is doing good. Like we living in luxury, man. We living good. We living good. You know, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. I got me a Yo, this shit don't play. Dragon milk. I'm blasted. I only had one and a half because you can see there's only half a bottle, and I'm already like blasted. I might have to do this because this is 17. Because the only problem is $17, but all you need is like two bottles and you blast it because it's 11%. So, woo, and it's a good high too. It's worth it. I might have to go there. I might have to go there. Dragon's milk. I'm sucking on the teeth of the dragon. It's called negging. I don't know what that means. I might have to look it up. Hey Siri, what does negging mean? No, they're saying nagging. Okay. Siri, what does negging means? Nope, they ain't. They give me nagging, so they don't got a definition for nagging. But let me look for negging. Nagging, insult or undermine someone in the belief that diminished self confidence will make them more receptive to sexual advances. Agent J Walker got it. That's what it is. So you gotta neg these girls. In America, you gotta neg them. Yeah, this is a new word I learned. Okay, so yeah, basically it's negging. Yeah. So you insult or you undermine their belief system and they will answer you. If you don't, if you just keep complimenting them, they're not going to answer you. They're not going to even talk to you. Believe me, do what I tell you to do. Neg these chicks. Go on one of these dating sites and neg them. Say something negative or counterproductive to what they seeking, and I bet you they will answer you based on, like if you nag like 10 girls, at least five of them is going to answer back with some kind of craziness, and it's insane. If you do that in China, like you don't even have to do that in China. You don't have to neg women; they won't respond to that. But in America, they respond to negging. Agent J Walker, yeah, he very handsome too. Very handsome guy. Some Chinese men are going after Russian women. That's true. See, when the Chinese go after Russian, it's okay. Now I'm gonna show you some videos, some craziness today, and you're gonna see. You had them vampire chicks, Randy. I hope you use holy water. I don't know what you talk about, uh, vampire chicks, but I had the white women that I know I couldn't get in America because they got enough men to placate them. But in China, because they didn't have the power, or the power dynamic was changed, they're like, okay, I gotta. In their mind, they gotta settle for less. But you know, I made them feel like they for the streets. Okay, so you could think I'm less. That's all. You could think that's your thinking, right? But I think you're lesser. So you for the streets. That's all you was for. And I'm gonna treat you as such. So you can look at me how you want to look at. Oh, I'm gonna settle for less. That's the only thing I can get in China. That's not the only thing I can get in China. So, oh man, I just want to try a different candy flavor. I was mess. Oh my god! I'm telling you guys, you gotta. Whoa. So this tiger's milk is like hitting me now. Like one bottle. If you're not a veteran, it's going to get you. It gets you. It hits you some other part. Like it's hitting me. So I did that. Oh, I got a little piece in there. Look at that. I'm gonna have to drink that. 11%. So two of these will get you smashed. So they're just like that's just like four Coronas or something. But it's more than that. It's more than four Coronas. It's like it's taking me to Saturn. I was on Earth like an hour ago. This shit is taking me to Saturn, yo. This is Dragon's Milk Reserve. Somebody talk to these people and tell them that I am one of my subscribers. Email one of these people and say you gotta pay me or endorse me because once you go, oh my god, once you go Dragon's Milk, you ain't going back. And mind you, I just finished watching uh the House of the Dragon. So when I'm drinking one of these, I'm like sucking on the teeth of one of the dragon, a Syrax. I'm sucking on the teeth of Syrax. Oh my god, this is strong. I gotta chill, and I got some left. Yeah, you gotta chill with this. Wow, you only get four. If you got six with this, and it's $17, I'll be like, yo, that's mad worth it. You get four of these, so they know how potent it is. Woo, this is potent. This is really potent. It's called Dragon's Milk Reserve Coffee Chocolate Madcap Coffee. This will have me blasted until at least 2 o'clock. Married 15 years, no smashing outside the marriage bed. And I think you gotta give it to him because his woman is satisfying him and everything. Look at that. Very handsome guy, man. Last I remember, you had a good security job and your wife had a good financial job in Charlotte. Anything new, brother? I still have a good job. It's just that in the summertime, because I'm a teacher, I don't get the salary because it's like a 10-month contract. So I don't get paid until um late August. Yep, I got something. Mm. Yeah, so I got a nice job. I'm not doing too much because over the summer I got to take care of the kids because ain't nobody here, and we're not getting no these kind of maids or babysitters. It's just easier for me to do it, and I'll do the live stream. I'm not getting no money off the live stream, but it's something to do. But hopefully I can build this into something better. So that's what I'm trying. Yeah, man. I get you, man. Oldest, you've been here since 2015. I know your name. I know all the people that have been here. You missing China? Mm, not really. To tell you the truth, if I was a single man, yeah, I would be missing China. If I was a single man, I'd be missing China. Because if you're a single man, I feel sorry for you. You gotta jump through all types of hoops. You gotta be all strong and really awesome looking. Um, and you still not guaranteed to get any. I mean, that's if I was single, I'd probably like, yeah, my life would fare better in China. But as a married man, and then you're more mature, um, America is definitely better. When you're not looking for no poontang or nothing like that, America is much better. When you're like, okay, this is it. You like Michael Jackson, his last time on stage, this is it. That's it. And then you got to deal with that, and you got to say, yo, this is it. Now it's time to be mature. You know, then America is much better. But if you still trying to do your royal oats, you trying to sow your royal oats, then uh I mean you still got a chance. It's not like the 19 to the early 2000s. You still got a chance as a man. Or if you can go to Colombia, or Dominican Republic, or Brazil, you're going to be received much better than you are in America, where I find that when you're on a dating sites, they most of the women have mental illness, or a lot of women they can have the beautiful face. You see the beautiful face and stuff, and then oh, she's beautiful, and then she won't show her body, and then when you see the body, it's oh god, yeah, yeah, oh, no wonder she's on the dating site, right? She got the beautiful face, but she got a 250-pound body. So you have a lot of that, and they still very, very demanding. Like you got to go to the gym, you got to have a all this kind of stuff that they don't got to have, and you just like, but you're like really fat. So why are you demanding all these things from me? And that's the thing. That's the problem. You know. Oh, this dragon milk ain't no joke, man. Just one, one and one fourth will destroy you. I'm telling you, I'm an old drinking head, so I drink on a regular, and this stuff got me blasted. So I would say like one and a half will get you blasted as a veteran of drinking. As a veteran of dragon milk, man. Somebody tell Dragon's Milk to pay me for the advertisement. What happened to your Chinese friend in Africa who you were trying to set up for a date? Did you manage to set her up? No, I didn't set her up. She still got her business. Um, she likes black men. I would say she likes black men. She prefer, but now she's inching towards white men. Not because they are total physically attractive. It's because of the easiness of life. Um, the black guys that she was, so she gave black men the benefit of the doubt. That's the thing. So she gave the black men the benefit of the doubt, but he moved to France and he was a soldier, and then he don't want nothing to do with her no more. He just want to smash and then live his life in France, trying to be some doctor or nurse or something like that. And she's like, "You don't have to be a doctor or nurse. I will take care of you." You're like, "My business will take care of you. You don't have whatever you want to be, you could take your time being. Just marry me, have a baby." That's what she wants. She want to get married. She want to have a baby, but she want the black guy to be like handsome and strong and all this kind of stuff. And I understand that. Like, and she's a catch. If you want her, she's a catch. She's like normal looking. She's like average looking in terms of sexual appeal. I think she has some hidden qualities that you will only find if you dated her, and it's like, you dated her, you will know. I think she has some private sexual appeal that you won't find if you just like, yo, I'm just looking for a girl. You won't find it unless you put some effort into her, and then you would know that, oh my God, this girl's worth it, right? So right now she got a house in Greece. So she bought a house in Greece where nobody live at. She's not even living in there. She living in Togo. And so she has her business in Togo, but because of the Chinese, like because of the tariffs and stuff, she's having problems and things like that, but she's still doing good. But she got money. Like, she don't need your money. She just needs your love and affection. And I think that you have to, from what I see in her, I think you have to yield to her. And when I say yield, I mean like she's the breadwinner. That's gonna be it. And you got to yield to her. So she's the breadwinner because she always gonna have the business. If you can have ideas and you work with her, she can do that. But at the end of the day, uh, because she got business acumen, she gonna be the breadwinner unless you smarter than her in some aspect. She would like you to be smarter than her. That's the thing. Um, I often said you could come to America and try to sow your royal oats there, because right now all she wants is a baby. She want a black kid, and the reason why she want a black kid, I'm gonna tell you why she want a black kid. It's because she's seen out my daughter and my son, and she's seen that me and Jenny been together for like 16 years, and that our kids have grown up to be, they got the ELG. My daughter is blew it, destroyed it. My son destroyed it. They are very intelligent. The trouble that I have with my son, the issue that I have with my son, he'd be like, he's rebelling, right? And that's normal. But I can't say nothing to him. Like, even he's misbehaving. My thing is, excuse me, you can misbehave, you could do that, you can even disrespect me on a regular, on some basis. As long as you're doing good in school, you got the head up on me. I can't do nothing. That's how I feel about it. Like, as long as you're doing good in school, you can handle me however you want it. And so my son, he's doing excellent in school, and I'm like, I can't see him on something like, you should be doing this. I can't be doing that because his ELG test, he's the number one student. So I can't be like, yo, you need to be doing this. He doing what he need to be doing. He just be like, yo, I don't. He loves me. He's like, I want to spend time with you. I want to see Ippo. He got some Japanese cartoon he want to see with me, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. He's like, then the hell with you. And to some part, that's disrespect, but I let him slide because he's doing so well in school. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm just like, all right, yeah, well, yeah, f me, like, because you're doing good in school, so I can't mess with you. That's the basic thing I want you to do. Do good in school, you can get everything you want. Do good in school. I tell my daughter, do good in school, you get anything you want. And sometimes you got to disrespect me, not in front of other people, but in private. Um, if you're doing well in school, I only require you to do well in school, and the rest of the stuff we'll figure out later. That's how I feel about it. People might not agree, but that's how I do it. Uh, Maybe one day. Like, I'm probably gonna go back on my own to visit Shanghai just to see how it's doing. Cause I still love Shanghai. But Jenny, she loved this place. She don't even like the food no more, China. and she keep worrying about this guy taking all her privileges. So we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that right now. So let me go through these messages. He said, "Dang, burp." Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I don't understand that handle. You, what does that mean? She said, "Nah, I won't let that slide." I gotta let it slide. I gotta let some of that slide. Like they're doing good in school. That's all I care about. Like, of course, they gotta respect me and all that stuff, but a lot of times my daughter's just being a teenager, and you can't fight every battle. You gotta lose some battles, and a lot of it can be some disrespect or whatever. I won't let it go too disrespectfully, but I had made a pact with them. As long as you're doing good in school, I ain't gonna ride you too hard. You know what I mean? My son, he still love me. He disrespect sometimes, but he still got love. So I let him slide on some things because he's just doing phenomenal in school, and I want to feel like since you're doing good in school, that warrants something, that means something, that is worth something. You know what I mean? So, as you and I know, Randy, the northern Chinese girls are the best looking and fittest in China. Shanghai and southern girls tend to be shorter. That is correct. Uh, Somewhat correct. Because I don't know if some of you don't know, but I had put out some adult videos that will never come out again, but they were out like 2 years ago. I was putting out some adult videos, and some of them were from Shanghai, and some of them were from the north. And you know how that went. That's what I have to say. I won't say nothing else. Okay, so we're gonna leave that. And so we got another video that I want to bring into fruition. And this one is terribly ratchet. You just got to see yourself. Okay, you guys see that yourself. Let's see, I can remove from the studio. And what I'm going to do is present. Oh, wow. Okay, so I got this one, and we're going to play this one. So this is an African guy who does videos on Wei Shin. And what has happened is that he is really getting destroyed in the comment section because he's black doing like regular videos. But they're like, go back home, do this, do that, do that. So we're going to see this video. I think it's like a couple of minutes long, like 6 minutes. I tried to keep it low. So we're going to watch it without my comment. Okay? So we're going to make this go quick, and we're going to watch it without my comment. Here we go.
嗨，大家好，我现在在敦煌一个酒店啊。这是呢，我来敦煌的一个目的就是来参加第4届文明交流互鉴对话会啊。主办方就是中国国际交流协会是主办方或者说主办单位。那这个地方呢，我除了参加活动呢，顺便去看看敦煌的一些景点啊。 敦煌是一个充满神秘色彩的名字，这里是古丝绸之路的重要节点也是东西方文明交汇的地方。
Yeah, I gotta
所以呢
go forward a little bit. So I'm gonna go forward.
都是刚出国。
Okay. So this is where he's being like,
我每次
all the Chinese like go back to Africa, do all just go back to Africa. We don't want you here. This kind of stuff. I hope you can see the words because I can't make out the words, but I'm thinking you can make out the words. But you can tell me if you can make out the words. Just watch it.
发布视频的时候，我的评论区都是刚出国，回你的国家，建设自己的国家吧，中国不要你。刚出国，甚至还有很多人，他们评论区还是不够，他们还会来
So you talk about going home.
发私信说你刚出国吧，中国
All
不
the
要
bad
你。
comments from Chinese.
这时呢，我也想了很久，我发现你们说的也对，我不应该留在这里，我应该
Yeah,
回
and that's what I want to
国，
bring up.
建设自己的国家。而且我爸妈也想我，他们也想让我回家，所以呢，我
So this
今
video
天
went viral. This
准
is
备
one of my friends
收
that
拾
sent me
行
the
李
video.
前往北京首都机场。
Can you see
回
what
国了。
is being read there? Because I can't see it because I'm on
谢谢你
big
们
TV.
的照顾，
But tell
谢
me
谢
if
你
you
们
can
的
see
关注，
that, like you can understand what he's saying.
谢谢。
If not, I can translate.
这是我的护照，我已经准备好了，还有各种各样的
My passport. I'm going home.
证件，都在这个小包里面。
Yeah, it's all in this little
我
bag.
要
I'm getting ready
回
to
家
go.
了，
I'm going
我要回
home.
家了。
I'm returning home. Cause y'all don't like me.
嗨，大家，真的让你们失望了。今天呢，所以就刷个小王起飞更新。
I knew that this was a troll video. Okay, so I knew that he was trolling, but the Chinese probably didn't know that he was trolling. And so you can see that stuff. Let me see like bigger. Because I wanted to make it bigger where you can see the words more clearly. Yeah, so you say you can barely read it. Because I can't make it bigger unless I did it horizontally. So next time I'll do it like horizontal instead of vertically. So he's just saying, listen, I'm getting treated badly, but I'm trolling you. He was like, I'm going home because you got all these messages of Chinese, go home, monkey, and all this other kind of stuff. And then he's just like, okay, I'm gonna go home, but he trolls him. I knew it was gonna be a troll. He ain't going home, right? He just want to make him pissed off, right? And so he does that, and then you're gonna see the comments, which are right here, right? And you can see how the Chinese feel about that, about him not really going home, right? He's not really going home, right? Let's see. So he's just like, oh, this sob video, right? And so let's see what happens. So he's going home. He's like, oh, I'm going back to Africa, right? He didn't learn the language.
嗨，大家，真的让你们失望了。今天呢，所以就刷个小王起飞更新敦煌，走吧。
So he's going to Gansu, right? He's like, I'm going to check out Gansu. I just trolled your asses. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the comments, okay? And so you can see some of these comments. Don't look at those messy comments. BLCUR, I don't know, black. I don't know what that means. Stand up. Our baby fish students have strong hearts. I don't know. I hope you can keep your promise. So it's like, Go back, right? Go back to Africa. So that's what they're saying. Go back to Africa, right? So we're gonna see this here. Look at the monkey emoji. Return home. Right? Go back to your country and build your hometown. There are millions of Chinese living abroad. Why don't you invite them back? So that's a foreigner probably saying that, right? In China. It is the most appropriate thing to return to one's own country and build one's own country after learning, right? And so you got the monkey emoji, you got the gorilla, back to Africa. This mostly from men who find it hard that I guess African men dating Chinese women. And this guy is not even saying he's dating Chinese women. It's just that, look, I'm exploring China with you, and I'm telling you my experience. But you got a lot of these hate comments. Go quickly, right? I hope you pay more attention to the comment section, and if you can, take a screenshot and remind yourself when you come back later. Have a good journey. I mean, I guess that means like this kind of thing. Okay, you got a dog. Me, not yet. I'm gonna have a dog like in a couple of days. I gotta call my friend after this. She giving me a dog. Go back to your people with a bit of self-respect. China belongs to the Chinese. Um, can't they call us? So you got some Chinese calling us cancers, calling black people a cancer on their society. Go back to your people with a bit of self-respect. Chinese belong to the Chinese. Africa belongs to the Africans. Oh, I'm gonna have a dog. My dog. I think I gotta go get the dog in a couple days. Yeah, I don't care what Jenny think because she don't like the dog. She pretended like she don't like the dog, but I'm bringing the dog anyway. She's like, if you bring a dog, I'm gonna divorce you. I'm leaving. I'm gone. Fuck. I'm bringing a dog. Okay, and you ain't gonna stop me. Why? Because it's a pug. Pugs are the greatest dogs in the universe. So I'm bringing a dog. Does everyone agree that he took our country's scholarship to travel? Right? Exactly. See? So you got that. Look at the dancing gorillas, the Confederate flag. Where did they learn this stuff from? Where did they learn it from? They say don't waste your time, but it's like more than half the comments. So you're like, these are more than half the comments. What do you think that we should think? Okay. So we got that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to a video that's talking about how Chinese are being rejected now. Because of the the restrictions, right? And how Chinese are reacting to that, right? How are Chinese reacting to the fact now that it's getting close to even the China? Uh-oh. Hold on. Uh-oh. I think it's my neighbor. Okay, Hamlet. There's a dog on the other side. Hamlet. Sorry, there's a dog on the on the other side of the porch. So when he comes out, I guess he's knocking on the thing. And yeah, so he's on the other side of whatever. But anyway, we're gonna check this video out. And definitely. Okay, so we're gonna look at this video together and we're gonna see like what's going on in China right now. Can you imagine a Chinese person who got accepted to Harvard this year, or accepted to MIT, or accepted to Yale, and then Trump saying, "Nope, your visa is revoked. You're not going to be able to go to Yale." And the feeling that they feel, the emotions that they feel, that they cannot attend one of the greatest universities in the world because Trump and Rubio are stopping them. And then I have to say, like, isn't that how you treated Africans during COVID? You blame Africans for COVID, right? So you blame the Africans for the COVID. Oh, my cat is here. Hamlet is here. So you blamed Africans for the COVID virus. You threw them out. You revoked their visas. Nobody said anything. Nobody fought for the black people. Nobody fought for us, and so now when this is happening to you, I'm supposed to feel like some kind of sorrow, or I'm supposed to fight for you? No, what I feel is I feel schadenfreude. And like Earl says, yeah, emotional damage, that's for you. You feeling emotional damage, right? I don't feel that way. You know? Oh, yeah. Hammer's like, nah, I ain't messing with you. He's like, don't be touching me, son. But let's look at this video here. And this video is the Chinese getting angry because they can't go to Harvard. And I'm just like, well, when I couldn't work in Wuxi, because you said foreigners and Americans can't work there, or blacks can't do this and blacks can't do that, how do you expect me to react? Right? I was like, yo, life is not fair. And you was like, yo, life is not fair. And here I am. I cannot sympathize with you. Right? So let's do this. Oh my God. The Iron Fist falls. So let's check this out. And let me go on my schadenfreude. So let's check this out.
现在谁还能惨得过在美国读书的学生？
Right now, who has it worse than students studying in the US? You can't go to Harvard anymore. You can't get selected for an H-1B visa. And now even OPS might be canceled. And now student visas are about to be canceled too. Some TikTok users said that even Chinese students who already have US visas are starting to worry that they won't be able to finish school. They might be forced to go back to China.
Yeah, my wife is worried. She's like, yo, I'm gonna get deported. I'm like, no, you're not. You're married to me and you came here legally. And you came here legally, because she's like, we bought a house together. I bought a house, and I'm like, Jenny, your name is on the lease, right? Or on the mortgage, but it's all my money that paid for it. Because I paid for it with all my money, right? You didn't put anything into it until like next month. Then you start putting your money into it. But in terms of the down payment, I put 100% into it. You ain't put nothing into it. So technically, it's my house. right? But she's worried. She's like, I'm gonna have to give away my house, and I'm like, I mean, you have to give away our house. I always got to constantly remind her because she's like, I had to give away my house. And I'm like, no. We asked your parents for money. They declined. Right? So they declined. They didn't want to give us nothing. And now her father haven't spoken to her since February, since we asked him. He don't want to even say anything. We moved in and everything. They pretend like we ain't even got the house, right? They didn't want to put nothing in. Her cousin actually met her father. It was like, and they didn't know that we were buying a house. They were like, "Did you buy a house for your daughter? Like, why don't you put money in, like, lend money to your daughter so she can buy a house in America?" He got really pissed off at it. His I don't know what you call it, niece or something. He got really pissed off at her, and now he doesn't want to talk to my wife. He hasn't talked to my wife since February. Usually he talks to her like at least once a week or something, right? Now he don't talk nothing because he feels ashamed that he didn't put money into it, or he didn't give her money when she asked for it. We didn't need the money. We just was just like, yo, can you put something into it? Like, because that's a tradition of China, right? Because they always talking about tradition and crap and whatnot. And so we was like, well, that's a tradition of China, right? Like the fan put in money, right? Even the boy put in money, and I fulfilled my goal because I put in money, right? All the money is down payment. That's 100% from the crypto that I raised, right? Um, we just asked if you can contribute, right? Because you want your daughter to live in a nice house and to be safe and all this, right? You don't want her living in the ghetto and stuff like that. He ain't want to give no money. Why? Because I'm black and I'm American and this kind of thing. So he almost cursed out the cousin, Jenny's cousin, because Jenny's cousin was vouching for her. Like, you should give money to her. This is tradition of China. And he really got pissed off. And I don't think he will ever talk to this cousin again now. And now he hasn't talked to my wife since February. The mother has said something, but the mother tried to avoid the conversation of, oh, you're living in a new house now. Because usually if we never told her that we was living in the house, she's like, how you doing? The kids are going to school. How's everything in the house? How's the rent going? Da, 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 da. Now that we got our own house, she pretended like it don't exist because the husband is telling her, like, pretend like the house don't exist. Pretend like there's nobody bought the house. And people may say, oh, you're the man. You got to contribute. I contributed. I paid 100% of the money needed to pay for the down payment of the house. But in Chinese tradition, the wife's family is supposed to put forth some type of money for the house. Now, I did that as a superficial offering because I knew her father wasn't going to give nothing. I knew that, right? But I was like, we're going to do it anyway. Just ask. Just ask. Like, can you give something like $500 or something like that? $500 would do it good. Even $500 would do enough. Not a red cent, right? And so that's how he is. That's how he conducts his business. That's how he treats his daughter. He don't give her no help because she married a ninja, right? And so he got to live with that. And so and I think he thought that if he didn't give the money, that we were just going to be doing we're just going to be living like we lived before. And it's like, nah, we didn't need your money. It was just a gesture, just to ask, just to see if y'all going to help. And you didn't help. but we still can get what we need. We still gonna be okay. And I think he lost face because of that we still moved in despite him not giving anything. Right? Which is his tradition to do. You know? It's his tradition to do. Yeah. So it's his tradition to do. It's his family's tradition. You're supposed to help you. That's your only daughter, your only child. That's your only child. So why aren't you helping your only child? You're not helping your only child? That's your only child. That's Ratchet. You're not helping your only child to succeed in life while everybody around her is succeeding. They're going to America. They're doing all kind of stuff. And you're not going to give her face because you hate America that much, because you hate ninjas that much. And so he lost face when his cousin, when Jenny's cousin stepped to him and said, listen, and she Chinese and she in her face, right? She said, listen, you got to give your daughter money. That's the tradition of China. Why are you letting her pay for everything? That's your tradition. And he didn't want to get preached to, and he got so pissed off, like, because she was like, you supposed to give. This is your tradition, no matter who the husband is. You supposed to give. Right? And it took a 35-year-old woman telling him, like, you do all this tradition everywhere else, but when it comes to the tradition of giving money, you nowhere to be seen. And she ain't say something like that, but she gave the indication of that. You know how Chinese are. They don't hit you directly. They hit you from the side. You know, they don't hit you directly. They hit you from the side. And so she hit you from the side, telling you the facts, and you're not listening. Right? So now he don't even speak to her. And she's like, he haven't spoken to her since February. And so he probably won't speak to her until he gets sick or something. And then it's her obligation to go and take care of him, right? So I'm sure he won't speak to her until he gets sick and he's dying and all this other shit. And then, of course, Jenny gonna go to him and take care of him because it's her obligation. But he didn't fulfill his obligation. That's the thing. And I know that's gonna make him feel some kind of way when she fulfills her obligation by going there and flying to China and taking care of what she got to do, despite that he didn't do it. Anyway, let's play this. Let me see if I can. Okay, I'm on the wrong one. Let me play this. Hey, let's do it.
Before they graduate. They're referring to a short statement released on April 28th. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio posted it on the State Department's website. He said the U.S. would be canceling student visas for Chinese students in large numbers. Rubio stated that under President Trump's leadership, the State Department would work with the Department of Homeland Security to revoke visas for Chinese students who are connected to the Chinese Communist Party or studying in sensitive fields. The statement also said the visa policy would be revised to tighten reviews for all visa applications from China and Hong Kong.
So they're doing the same thing that China does. So you in sensitive fields, China won't let you go to school. So all of this is reciprocation. You do this to me, I do this to you. That's all Trump is doing. But all these leftist communists are calling it they're calling it racist and all that stuff. But all he's doing is reciprocating what Chinese do. They already do this. They're like, you can't do this and this because it's sensitive to Chinese. You can't buy a house in a 25 mile radius or whatever. All Trump is doing is mirroring what China has done to us for years, and that Biden let them get away with because his son is on some kind of Chinese board. That's it. It's not rape. when Biden was doing stuff, they wanted to call it racist, right?
Reacting to the news, a 29-year-old student named Wu says she stayed up until 3 a.m., constantly refreshing the visa website. She finally managed to grab a mid-June interview appointment at the U.S. consulate in Shanghai. She said, "I saw the news around midnight and started trying right away. The website crashed multiple times." A 22-year-old student, surnamed Chen, who already got accepted into a humanities graduate program at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
North Carolina at Chapel Hill, son. Because we here. We over. Well, we ain't at Chapel Hill, but we in Charlotte. So, do I feel anything about this? Nah, I don't feel nothing about this because when I was in Wuxi and they wouldn't give me a job, well, they gave me a job and then they gave it to a Chinese person because they said, "Oh, you're a foreigner. You can't work in IT. It's sensitive, so we got to give it to a Chinese, right?" And so I had to deal with it. So deal with it. I don't feel no type of way. I feel schadenfreude. That's how I feel. And when I talk to people in Weixin, they say I'm racist or I'm a Trumper or I'm a MAGA. And I'm like, say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. I don't give a heck. Okay? When I was doing my thing in China, you wouldn't let me succeed. Because I'm a foreigner or mostly because I'm black, right? And so now that same thing's happening to you, I'm supposed to care?
Said, "I looked through social media and saw how others were reacting. I feel really anxious." Another student from Chengdu says she would delay her enrollment by 1 semester if she couldn't get the visa in time. She added, "If I really can't go to the US, I might accept the offer from the London School of Economics." A biology student said she had already been accepted by the University of Minnesota, Duluth, but if her US visa gets rejected, she doesn't have a backup school. A Chinese PhD student currently studying at the University of Wisconsin-Madison said, "The good days for international students are over.
Yeah.
A new round of hardship is about to begin." At a Chinese Foreign Ministry press conference on April 29th, Chinese spokesperson Mao Ning responded to questions from the media. She said the U.S. is using ideology and national security as an excuse to unfairly cancel Chinese student visas. She added that
they call it unfair. It's hilarious. You calling it unfair? The way you treat blacks and you're not addressing that problem, you call it unfair. Before there was the pro-democracy movement in China, there was the Nanjing pushback from Chinese. Look at that. Because 2 African students were dating Chinese women, they got all pissed off and started a movement. And then that started the pro-democracy movement. Look that up. Africans in Nanjing movement. Just write that. Africans in Nanjing movement. You will see how blacks were treated during that time. And now I'm supposed to give a hell because Chinese are not being accepted. Cry me a river, bro. Cry me a mother, brother river.
Seriously harms Chinese students' legal rights and disrupts normal cultural and academic exchange between the two countries. She said China strongly opposes this move and has already raised the issue with the U.S. One day before the visa cancellation was announced, on May 27th, the Trump administration said it would suspend all new international student visas at the U.S. embassies around the world.
Good.
This order was included in an internal cable signed by Rubio. It's part of the State Department's plan to increase scrutiny, especially in checking social media.
Good.
U.S. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce refused to comment on the internal cable during a regular press conference, but she said every sovereign country has the right to know who's trying to enter, why they want to come, who they are, and ideally what they plan to do while in the U.S. She added that the U.S. would use every tool available to screen anyone who wants to enter, whether they're students or not. She emphasized the State Department's commitment to thoroughly reviewing visa applications. When asked about the changes to the visa screening system, Bruce didn't share any details. Instead, she questioned why the media treated visa issues as so controversial. She said,
and again, we don't speak about individual visa cases. We don't speak about the nature of the choices made about individuals. We do know, though, that we take very seriously the process of vetting who it is that comes into the country. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to vet, and we continue to have an interest. And again, whether they be student or if you're a tourist who needs a visa or whoever you are, we're going to be looking at you. I think why that would, it seems to be such a controversial thing that's going on.
Some people on social media shared emails from Columbia University regarding visa interview cancellations. The email said that the U.S. State Department had paused student and exchange visitor visa appointments at all U.S. embassies and consulates worldwide.
Good. More Americans should be in Columbia University, not these foreign Chinese who hate black people. That's how I feel. Like, you hate black people, you don't want us in your country, you don't want to succeed in, but the Chinese succeed in America. F that. I don't want to deal with it no more. We black people are the true Americans, man. That's how I feel about it. The only flag that we got to raise is the American flag. That's why I call myself American flag, because that's the only thing I got. That's the only thing I can fight the autocracy with is I'm black, and you know what? I am one of the true Americans beside these American Indians, right? I helped build the country. My lineage helped build the country. And we should benefit from all the good things that America provides. We should not allow foreigners to come and usurp the things that we are owed. That blacks, I don't care about black fatigue and all that other stuff. At least the black people that are doing good in this country, because you got a lot of smart black men, women doing very well in the United States. They don't commit crimes. They don't do nothing. They should be granted the utmost respect and everything that the America can provide. That's what I think. The ones breaking the law, that's different. But the ones following the rules and doing what they're supposed to do, they should be allowed every advantage that America has provided because of the ancestral stuff that black folks had to go through. We are the bearers of the fruit of what America has become. Don't try to talk crap and do all these other things. I don't want to hear it. I'm an American. My kids are American. We expect everything, the best that comes from America. My kids have Chinese. They are the best. Why? Because they're American citizens. Because my ancestors fought for what we got to do today. And those who follow the rules, not the ones who's breaking the rules like George Floyd and all them other people, but the ones who follow the rules despite all the trouble and the stuff that sometimes people have to go through, poor folk have to go through. This is a class thing, not a color thing, right? That you still make it because you're smart and you're diligent and you do what you got to do. Right? So, yeah, I like it.
The reason was to expand social media screenings and checks. This means no new visa interviews will be scheduled for now, though previously booked appointments will still be processed. Students currently in the U.S. who plan to leave and renew their visas are advised not to travel until the new policy is clarified. According to the State Department's internal cable, they're reviewing the current screening procedures for F, M, and J visas. While new social media screening guidelines are being prepared, the government will temporarily remove unbooked student visa interview slots. But anyone who already has an appointment can still follow the current procedures. Most American universities have two main intake periods, spring in March and fall in September. The State Department's website says F1 student visas can be issued up to 365 days before the program starts, but students can only enter the U.S. within 30 days of the program start date. Undergraduate programs in the U.S. typically last 4 months. PhD programs usually take between 3 and 8 years. F visas are usually valid for 5 years, and the renewal process is the same as the original application. Applicants must fill out an online form and schedule an interview at a U.S. embassy outside the U.S. The move to cancel visas for Chinese students is actually part of a broader policy by the Trump administration. It aims to limit foreign student access to higher education in the U.S. The reason they give is national security concerns. Secretary of State Rubio said students in sensitive fields like AI, semiconductors, and biotech should be subject to extra scrutiny. He said that the U.S. will not allow any hostile regime to use the American education system to gain access to America's core technologies and defense knowledge.
Exactly.
There are nearly 19 million students in higher education in the U.S., and international students make up 5.9% of them. According to the Institute of International Education, more than 1.1 million international students came to the U.S. in the 2023-2024 academic year. About half of them were from India and China. As tensions between China and the U.S. continue to rise, the number of Chinese students going to the U.S. has dropped. In 2024, the number fell by 4% to about 277,000 students. The FBI had earlier warned on its official website that the Chinese Communist Party was using graduate students and postdoc researchers in fields like engineering, science, and math to collect intellectual property. These concerns are not unfounded. In recent years, the FBI has repeatedly warned that China is using academic exchange programs for intelligence gathering.
Okay, so there's something very important that Earl said. So on Christmas Eve, 1988, a group of African students from Hohai University in Nanjing in eastern China attempted to enter a college dance. They were asked to show their IDs and to register their So I remember this. I know this by heart. In Nanjing, those students asked to come in. They brought two girls to stay the night. Chinese men were pissed off, and then all of a sudden, the African students had to board a train to Beijing to get the hell up out of there because they were going crazy. And then that led to the Nanjing massacre. Nobody ever talks about this part. That whole Tank Man and all this stuff, that was predicated on racism because they were angry at the Negroes going out with Chinese women. When right now you have Chinese going to Africa, dating princesses, which would probably be held for some other black guy or some other American guy or some other whoever guy, but a Chinese person got him because the Chinese have big influence in Africa, right? And so the chieftain who's allowing her daughter to marry the Chinese guy, they're doing this for a reason, right? Because there's going to be some financial windfall from that, from having to marry a Chinese dude, right? But here we go. Chinese girlfriend. So they were asked to show their ID and to register their Chinese girlfriends, which you still got to do to this day if you're in one of those universities. When they refused, a fight broke out that escalated into stone-throwing riots. 11 Chinese and 2 Africans were injured. Now, I may do a China Ratchet episode on this because this is old. This is from 1980 something. I can do the whole story because I know it by heart. Okay. So, but this is just a real quick rundown of what happened. But we can go into detail at some point. So December 26th, at least 130 African students had gathered at Nanjing railway station to flee, while 1,000 Chinese students marched in the streets yelling racist slogans against black devils. So I just want you to know that most of you just know the Nanjing, sorry, not the Nanjing, the pro-democracy stuff that happened in Beijing. And that's what the TVs and what the Western media show you. But they don't show you what these things were predicated on. What was the Beijing riots or the Tiananmen Square massacre, what was it predicated on? The predication was the Nanjing, basically what was happening in Nanjing, that African students had taken Chinese girls to go party and maybe have sex and do all that stuff, and the Chinese got pissed off because Africans were getting these what do you call it, types of these scholarships. So they were getting these scholarships that were negotiated between China and Africa. And the Chinese weren't getting these scholarships, but the Africans were getting a free ride. And the Chinese men, they hated it. And so the Africans were getting these scholarships. And, you know, if in the 1980s, you coming from Africa and you're only dealing with dark-skinned women, and then you come to China, and then you got these light-skinned women, and they willing to give it up, and they willing to do the thing with you, and all you got to do is register them, but they make it so difficult for you to get some ass, right? A whole movement started from that, or for Africa. This whole Beijing democracy thing started from the Nanjing movement, and that's what the West never tells you about. That it started from BBC. Okay, that big black COCK. That's where it started from. It started from the BBC, that the women went into the BBC, and the men, they didn't like it. They didn't like that the women wanted the BBC, because that's why they was with them Africans, right? They were going in, but you got to register. Imagine you didn't have to register. They were just, the Africans were using it like a bus, just coming in and out, in and out, in and out. You don't know the black guy who made that video, who wrote that book, Yellow Buses, Black something, Yellow Buses. He was speaking facts, but he was talking about Japan, right? But he was speaking facts. In China, it was a lesser thing, but that was happening too, where it's like a bus. You just stop by, you getting chicks, and that's just what it was, because it was something different. And it wasn't only happening in China. It's not a fetish thing. It was also happening because of globalization. So it was happening in Russia too, where they ain't see a lot of black guys, right? And they were being told propaganda about black men. And then when they tasted some of that, the black nectar, then they want more. And so then you had these other races, like the Russians and the Chinese, fighting back. Like, you taking out women, there won't be no problem for the Chinese guy going to Africa, doing all that to the women, dating the women. And there ain't no problem with that. Ain't no problem when the white man in slavery time was smashing the black women, even though they had a husband and children and all that, and they had these mulatto children. Wasn't no problem with that. But when the black guys start sowing his royal oats, then there's a problem. And that's the thing you got to pay attention to. Right? That's the thing that you got to pay attention to. All right, we got some messages here before I play them. I'm going to play the video while I'll do the messages, all right?
Even top institutions like Harvard and Caltech have been involved in investigations related to suspected technology theft by the Chinese government. Professor Sun Guoxiang from Nanhua University in Taiwan told international media that U.S. policy shows how education and talent movement are now being treated as part of national defense. He said this is the largest and most systematic security screening effort targeting Chinese students in history. It's not just about safety. It also sends a political message. Domestically, it shows a tough stance on protecting the U.S., and internationally, it aims to block threats to America's technological security. He explained that the focus is clearly on preventing technology theft theft, academic infiltration, and intelligence gathering, especially in fields like engineering, high tech, and national defense. Areas like AI, semiconductors, and biotech are seen as high risk. These policies are based on the idea that China poses a threat. National security now serves as the justification for cross-agency cooperation. That's why education has become the front line in US-China strategic competition. Under the Trump administration, China was labeled a global strategic competitor, and now education and research are seen as extensions of national security, especially in sensitive areas like AI, quantum technology, biotech, and space. The US is worried that this knowledge could be used in China's military-civil dual-use programs. Associate Professor Shen Mingshi at Tom Kong University in Taiwan said that Trump's policies are clearly related to concerns about campus influence and technology leaks. He also pointed out the recent controversy involving Harvard. Recently, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security sent a letter to Harvard University questioning whether the school was working with the Chinese Communist Party and training members of the Xinjiang Production and Construction Corps. They also asked Harvard to provide a list of international students involved in protests or violence. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem asked Harvard for detailed information about all international students, including their courses, visa status, and any records of discipline or legal trouble. She also demanded video footage of any international students who had taken part in illegal, dangerous, or protest-related activities in the past 5 years. After weeks of back and forth, Harvard refused part of the request. On May 22nd, Noem ordered the termination of Harvard's certification under the Student and Exchange Visitor Program. This means Harvard can no longer enroll new international students, and thousands of current students will need to either transfer to another school or leave the U.S. In her statement, Noem also accused Harvard of failing to protect its students, allowing campus crime to rise, practicing discriminatory DEI policies, and taking large donations from foreign governments. Between 2022 and 2023, crime on campus rose 55%, serious assaults rose by 295%, and robberies increased by 560%. Noem explained the reason behind the ban. The government is holding Harvard accountable for promoting violence on campus, encouraging anti-Semitism, and cooperating with the Chinese Communist Party. She said Harvard has had many chances to do the right thing, but chose not to follow the law. The statement also mentioned concerns about Harvard's ties to the Chinese Communist Party. For example, the Xinjiang Production and Construction Corps, a paramilitary organization under the CCP, was sanctioned by the U.S. government in 2020 for alleged human rights abuses against Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities in Xinjiang. But the U.S. Department of Homeland Security said Harvard continued to provide public health training to ex-PCC officials even after the sanctions, and this contact reportedly continued until 2024. Harvard currently enrolls about 6,800 international students, which makes up about 27% of its student body. Nearly 20% of those international students are from China, making Chinese students one of the largest groups on campus. According to an investigation by the Harvard Crimson and the U.S. Department of Education, since 2013, Harvard has received tens of millions of U.S. dollars in donations from China. Some of these donations were routed through Hong Kong or Singapore, and many were anonymous, making the sources difficult to trace. A U.S. business intelligence firm, Strategy Risks, reported that Hong Kong real estate tycoon Ronnie Chan helped to arrange a $350 million US donation to Harvard in 2014. As a result, Harvard renamed a School of Public Health after Chan's father, T.H. Chan, a property developer. Ronnie Chan is also a member of the China-United States Exchange Foundation, an organization based in Hong Kong that claims to promote dialogue between the two countries, but under U.S. law, it's registered as a foreign agent. Harvard's cooperation with the Chinese government also extends to public opinion research. According to the Harvard Gazette, the Ash Center at the Kennedy School had for years conducted surveys of public satisfaction in mainland China. Some believe this data could be used by the Chinese government as a tool for governance. President Trump said,
I want to make sure that the foreign students are people that can love our country. Harvard is treating our country with great disrespect. You know, I'm looking out for the country and for Harvard. I want Harvard to do well. I want Harvard to be great again.
Trump accused Harvard of being a hotbed of liberalism and anti-Semitism. And he said that he had already cut $2.6 billion US dollars in federal support to the university. Instead, he wants to see that money go to vocational schools. He also said,
every time they fight, they lose another $250 million.
Trump pointed out that Harvard has an endowment fund of around $52 billion US dollars and still receives a significant amount of funding from the US government. Trump also proposed lowering the share of international students at Harvard from over 25% to around 15%. His administration also proposed ending Harvard's tax-exempt status, increasing taxes on its endowment, and launching an investigation into whether the university had violated civil rights laws. On May 23rd, Harvard University filed a lawsuit, arguing that the Trump administration's decision was a retaliatory act against the university. Harvard said the policy violated the First Amendment and would have a direct and devastating impact on both the school and over 7,000 visa-holding students. Harvard also filed a separate lawsuit to challenge the cuts to its federal funding and asked for the funds to be restored. On the same day, a federal judge issued a temporary restraining order to pause the enforcement of the policy. In recent months, the Republican Party has been ramping up pressure on collaboration between American and Chinese universities. Earlier this month, members of Congress demanded that Duke University its partnership with the Chinese institution. Just hours before Secretary Rubio announced the new policy, Eastern Michigan University said it was cutting ties with 2 Chinese universities in its engineering programs. Congressman John Molinar, who chairs the House Select Committee on the CCP, called on all American universities to fully end partnerships with Chinese schools. On May 12th, Florida Senator Ashley Moody said, "How can we keep offering 300,000 student visas to Chinese nationals every year when we know they're legally required to gather intelligence for the CCP?
Yeah.
The answer is simple. We can't." A detailed report by the Stanford Review on May 7th revealed that the Chinese government has been running a long-term espionage network at Stanford. It reportedly used impersonation and social infiltration to target students who specialize in China-related research, gathering sensitive academic information. The investigation also found that some Chinese students in the U.S. were pressured to cooperate under China's national intelligence law. They were allegedly asked to regularly report their research progress to the Chinese.
So now if you do that in China, you're going to jail for 20 years. But not in the U.S. See, that's the problem, right? So not in the U.S. Let me show you something. So I want to show y'all something. I do want to show you something. Before we go, because it's it's like an hour and a half. I don't want these things to go more than an hour. Excuse me. But I want to show y'all something. And this is how it's going. This is what's happening. This is crazy, right? So check this out. I don't know who this woman is. I got to do more research on her, but she must be some senator or something, or something like that. And what she's doing, let me share the entire screen. So what she's doing, I had a video yesterday that I tried to do, but they deleted the video. YouTube deleted the video, and I was like, "Why you delete the video?" And they didn't let me know why they deleted it. But then I found that I had filmed my daughter's school, and so you had children's faces in it, and so they had no choice but to delete that video. So I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense, right?" Like when you go into school, and they didn't give me like a strike or nothing. They just deleted. They didn't let the video come to fruition. But that was an important video, but they didn't let the video come into fruition because of the fact that you had children and it was a school. Like you can't film schools, I think, on YouTube or something like that. So I learned my lesson. They didn't give me a strike or nothing, so I'm happy about that. But here we have Laura Luma. I don't know who she is. So Laura Luma is calling for, I think she's a senator or she's something. She's bigger than a senator, I'm guessing. Like she's some kind of administration role in a Trump, cabinet, right? So Laura Luma is calling for Chinese President Xi Jinping's daughter to be deported in the wake of the Trump administration's edict to revoke visas of some Chinese students. Read more. I agree with her. Why the hell is her daughter? Why the hell is his daughter going to American school? If you hate America that much, so you must be doing something like some espionage. Because I know you don't like America. Like she does secretly like America more than China, right? Because she got more rights. She could be away from her father. She probably got 10 bodyguards or whatever. She living a lovely life in America, right? She living the best of both worlds, where you could pretend like you're a communist, but you like the American life better. And also, this guy, Xi Jinping, agrees with that, right? That, oh, if you had a choice where to live, where would you live? Xi Jinping's daughter. I want to see what Xi Jinping's daughter looks like. Okay, so we got the. Let's check what his daughter looked like. Okay, let's see. I mean, it don't really matter what she looked like, but I'm just saying, I'm Xi Jinping. Oh, so his daughter is supposedly going to Harvard. Okay. So his daughter's going to Harvard. She probably dumb as rocks. Deport Xi Jinping's daughter. Who is she? Xi Mingzi. So is she still in Harvard? Okay, so his daughter's looking like she ain't bad looking. All right. As tensions rise between the U.S. and China over student visas, the spotlight has turned to Chinese President Xi Jinping's daughter, Xi Mingzi, a Harvard student who reportedly lives in Massachusetts under heavy security. So what the hell are we? Why do we have this chick under heavy security in our country? What the hell is she doing studying in America? If China is so much better than America, right? Get out of my country. Go study in your country. Now, if I could, I'd smash. Just to give it the finger to Xi Jinping, because she ain't bad looking. If I could, I'd smash. I mean, Lord, Jenny would probably have my she had my balls in the noose. But ain't no fun if my homies can't have nothing. I'll have my homies smash that. Get out my country. That's what I say. Like, why you here? I don't got the same type of kind of. I don't have the same. Gosh, I can't even say what I want to say. I don't have the same privileges when I'm in China to do what I want to do, to have all the security and all this other stuff. Because nobody want to go to China. Nobody want to go to Beijing, that's right, or what is it? Tsinghua University. Nobody want to go there. As tensions flare up between the U.S. and China over student visa restrictions, the spotlight has turned to Xi Mingzi, the daughter of Chinese President Xi Jinping, following claims that she is living in Massachusetts under heavy security. So she's living a life. Why don't you live in America, right? I mean, live in China. Earlier this week, U.S. Secretary of State Marko Rubio announced that Washington would begin aggressively revoking visas of Chinese students who are considered national security threats. With stricter background checks and tougher rules expected to follow, many are now asking, are now asking, would a daughter of China's most powerful leader not be spared? So she shouldn't be spared because she's part of Chinese Communist Party, right? Get her ass out of there. You talking about you want to take these people away, right? Because of national security threat, she is the biggest of national security. So her ass needs to be deported. Here's a closer look. But first, who is Xi Mingzi? Xi Mingzi, the only daughter of Chinese President Xi Jinping and Peng Liyuan, I guess the only child, has remained intensively private and has kept most details of her life shrouded in secrecy. Why the hell is she in Harvard? That's what I want to know. Why she can go to Harvard? And this is what I'm talking about. Regular black folks can't go to Harvard, but a tyrant's daughter can go to Harvard? How's that fair? Right? Nobody talk about that. That's what I'm saying. Nobody talks about. They only talk about like those Chinese students who have all these really really good teachers and they can go to Harvard. Oh, it's not fair that you don't let them go to Harvard. When you got American black students that maybe they might be 3 or 4 points off that they can't go to Harvard. I say let them go to Harvard first before any of these Chinese students. I don't care if they got to take out loans and stuff like that. You got to take care of your people first before you take care of foreigners, because that's how China reacts. That's how China does with their people. They take care of their people first before they take care of your people. Right? So she studied under a false name at Harvard University from 2010 to 2014, majoring in psychology. Oh, so is she already gone? After previously attending Zhejiang University and the Hangzhou Foreign Language School studying French. Okay, attending Zhejiang University. So she went to a lot of, like, this is the third, fourth university, 3 universities she already went to. Though she reportedly returned to China after graduation, unverified reports suggest she may have resumed graduate studies at Harvard in 2019 because she liked Harvard so much. So 2019 to 2025, she should have graduated already, right? The same year, a technician, Neo Tung Yu, was sentenced to 14 years in prison for allegedly leaking her ID. Oh, wow. So in China, he's sentenced to 14 years because he found her ID and he leaked her ID card. Oh, wow. He gets 14 years for that. In America, you would get like what, 6 months or something? But because it's Winnie the Pooh, he's getting 14 years in prison for allegedly leaking her ID card details on a website esu.wiki. I don't even know what that is. Though activists claim he was wrongly targeted. Chinese authorities have consistently censored information about her and her current location, career, personal life remain unconfirmed. However, persistent speculation places her in Massachusetts, likely under the Chinese government's protection. So why do we got these Chinese spies, daughters of these kind of government officials, where they didn't earn a spot, they just born there? Why are we protecting these people? She need to be deported. That's what I think. Speculation around Xi Mingzi's fate under the U.S.'s new visa policy has gained momentum ever since far-right activist Laura Loomer. See how they call her far-right activist? Instead of just calling her Laura Loomer, took to social media demanding her deportation. Let's go. Deport Xi Jinping's daughter. She lives in Massachusetts and went to Harvard. Luma wrote in the tweet. She also claimed sources tell me PLA guards from the CCP provide her with private security on U.S. soil in Massachusetts. Yeah, get the hell out. Why the hell are you in Massachusetts? I thought you said China was so great. Just like these African leaders that have like 15 passports, that whenever the country goes into civil unrest, they go run to another country like France or something like that. Nah, you go down with the country then. So if China ain't doing well, you go down with the country. Why are you in America if you're the enemy of America? Right? Luma went a step further, announcing she plans to confront Xi Mingzi on camera. Yo, son, she's a thug. She ain't playing, son. Ratchet! Laura Loomer, you are Ratchet! You are our first Ratchet girl, baby. You're the first Ratchet person on the first episode of Ratchet China Daily. You're the first Ratchet girl, baby, and that's not saying nothing bad. That's saying you're doing good, baby girl. Okay? So Luma went a step further, announcing she plans to confront Xi Mingzi on camera. She says she intends to question her about her father's policies, adding, "Communists don't belong in our country." Yo, she ain't playing, son. The U.S. will begin revoking visas of Chinese students, including those with connections to the Chinese Communist Party or studying in critical fields. Laura Luma. I gotta follow her ass. Oh my god. Oh my god. I gotta follow her. Okay. I'm gonna follow you, Mrs. Luma, because I want to make sure you're doing what you gotta do. Let's see what the comments are saying. I can't see the comments unless I sign in. Okay. I gotta sign in first. Uh I'll do that. I'll do that and then let y'all know in the comments and stuff like that. But yeah, she ain't playing. Deport Xi Jinping's daughter. She lives in Massachusetts. Sources tell me PLA guards, blah, blah. Her remarks came just days after Secretary of State Marco Rubio revealed a new policy aimed at Chinese nationals, particularly students with alleged ties to the Chinese Communist Party or those studying sensitive subjects like artificial intelligence, defense tech, or robotics. Oh my God, my dude, Stephen Yu. I don't know if you know him. Oh, Simon Yu, I think his name is. He got famous because of Sapienza, and he's taking robotics. Well, he took it already. I think he's a graduate student, or he probably finished already. He might be close to finishing because he was on the PhD. And so if he's doing stuff like that, he might not be able to finish his courses, because we got to protect those industries. And I kind of agree, because if you're in China, you got to protect those industries, right? China not going to allow you to take these kind of courses. So we should be doing the same thing. Okay? Like, it's reciprocation. So I don't see where the racism is. Rubio said that the administration will also revise visa criteria for enhanced checks of all future applicants from the People's Republic of China and Hong Kong. For years, China has been the largest source of international students in the U.S., but rising political tensions along with the pandemic have caused those numbers to drop significantly. Now, with this new policy in place, a lot will depend on how the State Department and Homeland Security choose to enforce it. Around 280,000 Chinese students are currently enrolled in American high schools. colleges and graduate programs, making up nearly a quarter of all foreign students in the country. Now, you ain't gonna have that many Americans in China. Not at this moment. I would say like 30, 40,000. That's it. Right? It ain't like what it used to be. We can look at this video, but let's see. The broader the criteria, the more students could be affected. China responds to the U.S. latest visa moves. Beijing didn't take long to react. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Mao Ning strongly criticized the visa crackdown, calling it political motivated, like they don't politically motivate us, do politically motivated espionage against Americans, right? And accusing the U.S. of using ideology as a weapon under the pretext of national security. Like y'all don't do the same thing. Like students can't take like IT uh, in China because it's some kind of Chinese national security. Y'all do the same goddamn thing. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Okay. Speaking to reporters on Thursday, she said the move was an unreasonable decision that seriously harms the lawful rights and interests of Chinese students and disrupts people to people exchanges between us. Now, I got friends in China, and now they on China's side. My friends in China is on China's side, but they only on China's side because it directly affects them, right? When I told they asses they gotta leave, get out of China because this is what's coming up, and they didn't want to get out, and so this stuff is happening, and they know that revenge is coming from China because China is a tit for tat country. You do this to them, they do that, right? Because they always want to perpetuate themselves as the victim. So you do something, then they automatically react. They're very reactive country, right? And so they're going to react to something when America's doing this thing. And so you got these foreigners there, these Americans that I got a guy who's black that can't get a job because he's black and because he's so Trump deranged and he's in his own self-interest that, oh, yeah, I don't agree with this. But he's going to hesitantly agree with it because he's Trump deranged, but he knows what China does. It's like they don't like him because he's black. They won't hire him because he's black. And so for over a year, he hasn't been able to get a job, and his girlfriend is taking care of him. Okay, his girlfriend is paying for everything, is paying for the apartment, and she's getting pissed off because when she was dating him, she wasn't meant to do that. Right? And now she don't want to marry him unless he got something going for him. But he don't got nothing going for him because these are the new rules. The double negative stuff that happened in China and these type of things. Right? Because certainly they're gonna hit back. They're gonna be like, but Chinese American teachers can't do this and then do that. It's coming. And so he's pretending to be pro China, which, well, he's not really saying anything. But he knows it's right. And he knows what Trump is doing is right. But he would never admit it, right? So she further added the U.S. decision to revoke visas entirely groundless. It harms the legitimate rights of Chinese students and damages educational and cultural exchanges. China firmly opposes this move and has lodged an official protest. Like y'all wasn't doing this to American students, especially during COVID. Y'all wasn't letting no Americans come and be students over there, and y'all were stopping the classes and everything, even though the students paid and all that stuff. Y'all don't remember that, and that what y'all was doing to American students, right? To all the world students who paid the money already. Y'all, they forgot about that, right? But why is Trump targeting students? This might be biased. We don't know. At the core of the policy lies a ground concerning within Washington that China is using academic programs as a way to access American research and technological advancements. Yes, remember the video I did with the Chinese dude in some, I think it was a Minnesota school, or it could have been some second tier school, and he paid for it, but he stole the information. Then he created his own company when he went back to China, and that benefited the Chinese government immensely. Right? It was some kind of cloak shield. I can look it up if you guys don't know about the cloak shield that an American professor created. So we got, oops, sorry about that. We got American cloak shield stolen. I can just put American. Oh my god, my cat is here. So American. Let's see, American cloak shield stolen Chinese student. I think if you put this, because I think it was in Duke University. Uh, so we got cloak shield. I don't know how if we're gonna find it in this way because it was a while ago. I think it was in Duke. Let me see. Chinese steals U.S. technology Duke, because I think it was in Duke. Chinese steals Chinese student steals Duke uh, cloaking. I don't even know how to spell cloak. Cloaking, cloak, cloaking technology. I think it was Duke University. Duke University. Oh, he become billionaire. He was a billionaire. Billionaire. Chinese student. Chinese student. Should I say this happened in like 2000? I would say 18 or something like that. Chinese student steals Duke cloaking technology. Duke University billionaire or something. So he was working for the Chinese government. Okay. Yeah. So here we got, you can put it still in research. Yeah. So I was right. 2018, a billionaire known as China's Elon Musk is suspected of spying while he was a Duke student and stealing a professor's invisibility technology. So he stole the technology. You can look at the video here. I remember doing a video on this. I did a video on this a while ago in 2018. Hmm. Jet power skateboard. Yep. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Mm-hmm. 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 Wow. Mm-hmm. You pay for the education. Because they pay for the education. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Advanced version. Communist Party. Okay, yeah. So I think, like I said, like Trump is he has a strainer And I would say if you have 100%, I'd say like 10% is doing this kind of spy. And I think that they don't intentionally come for spying. They have like some they might be taking nuclear fission as some kind of they want to be a nuclear scientist or whatever. And in America they got some good courses for that. And then if they're doing well, or they're doing pretty decent, or they're competent, the Chinese party, the Communist Party, will approach them and say, listen, we need you to do this, that, and this and that. And your family will be glorified. You're doing it for the country and this kind of stuff. And they do it. Because if they do it and they are successful and China can like reverse engineer some of the technology, they get accolades. I don't think a lot of these students come with the intention of stealing technology, but once they already here and they're in sensitive fields, the Chinese Communist Party approaches them and kind of pressures them into doing this and that and that. Now, in terms of blue, I don't think it took a lot of pressuring. I just think it's like, okay, this is obvious. We give you a bunch of money if you can reverse engineer it, if you can get some of our scientists in there, if you can convince the professor to get some of our scientists in there to take photos and do all that stuff. All we got to do is do that. Get some of our Chinese people in there to take photos and kind of mentally take it apart. And you will be handsomely rewarded. And then that's what happened. I don't think he came to China with the intention of that. I came to America with the intention of that. But when he went there, it was a very important field. And he might be part of some kind of a rich family, right? That's going to Duke and stuff like that. I don't know where he is today. You could look him up. I don't know even his name, but it's Lu Peng or something like that. I'm sure he's even richer than he is back in the days. Okay. But this is what Trump is trying to stop. He's trying to stop this type of people that are taking advantage of the United States hospitality. Now, if you go to one of these places in Weixin groups where you got these American people that's already in China, and they know they're gonna get affected, they're gonna be super pro China because they know it affects their bottom line, their ability to make money. So of course they're gonna be pro China. And so I had to argue with a bunch of these people about why Trump is doing this, but they all trump the range. You can't say nothing. There's nothing you could say that can convince them. So I just let them do what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? I let them do what they're gonna do. So let's get the comments before I go. Oh, we got a lot of freaking comments. Oh, yeah. I didn't know I had so many. Okay, let's just go somewhere random. Let's go somewhere random. Tampa. Okay, we got Joe Miles in Tampa. Hometown, I remember doing that. Yeah. I have a feeling this is Grand Admiral Gaines. Am I right that this is Grand Admiral Gaines? Your rhetoric sounds like Grand Admiral Gaines. Okay. Giving visas to spies, Japanese hate black men anyway. Yeah, this is Grand Admiral Gaines. Just put your real name, Grand Admiral. We already know your rhetoric. This is Grand Admiral Gaines. I don't know what that means. That's right. Marko ain't playing. I don't know what that means. I like Laura. She's just a journalist. Morality is for friends only. Laura Elizabeth Loomer. Oh, okay. Is an American far right political activist, conspiracy theorist, and internet personality. Okay, she could be, but what she's speaking is facts. Okay, she ran for Congress in Florida a few years ago and lost. She might gain a seat from what she's saying. Yeah, she loves her white guy and hates blacks just like all Chinese women. Oh, yeah, this is. I'm just gonna call you Grand Admiral Gaines because I know that's who you are. I hope you're doing more writing because his writing is really good. So I'm hoping he hasn't stopped writing his articles. But I think sadly I think he has stopped writing. A CC Bird in Boston. She's probably super hot, and you as a black man will never get it. I don't want her. I'm just saying. King Kong ain't got on Talladega Ninjas. I don't know what that means. Isn't she's daughter using a different surname? Yeah, she's probably using a different surname. Oh, hero. Me Chinese man, not like black people. If you pronounce it like, oh, hero, me Chinese, me not like. Okay, oh, hero, me Chinese, me not like black people. Who pulled security for her? Don't know. Probably the Communist Party. Winnie the Pooh's daughter. That's what I'm saying. See, yeah, we know you, Grand Admiral Gaines. Stop it. We don't order the deaths of our adversaries. Okay. Yep. Why not? Quebec or France? Winnie the She, PLA here in U.S. Yeah, they are here. I think they're allowed. They're allowed to do it. Laura is on She X and Truth. I definitely agree. She daughter needs to leave. I think she needs to be deported. You said she daughter can live in my basement. Oh, Matt, you sounded like a serial killer right now. I don't know if you want to do that. Klingon cloak shield from here at the University of Minnesota. Duke espionage. Oh shit! No audio on the video. Ayala. Oh, no wonder I lost so many people because no audio. I mean, if you want me to play it back, I can play it back. But I hate when that happens. That's what I hate about this channel. Because they don't tell you that, oh, no video is being played. Okay, let me play this again. Okay. No, we don't want that. So I'm gonna try to play this video. Oh, this is but I wanted to play the woman, the guy that stole the technology. Okay, so I do want to play this. Okay, so oh my god, so I'm gonna play this. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I hate. They like hijack your crap. They're hijacking it. Okay, whatever. They don't want to play it, but you can find it out yourself. I don't even want to play this. You can find this crap out yourself. I'm not being hijacked. Okay, so they're trying to hijack and see, oh, you got to do this and ads and all that other crap. I don't want to deal with that. But let's play this one because this one is on YouTube, so that's definitely gonna play. I gotta remember that if it's not YouTube, it's gonna be hard to play. So let's play this one. Okay, so I know how to play this one. So I know how to play this one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna present that before I go. Right, share screen, escalate fight, and it's gonna play because it got this thing here. So I gotta remember that. Like, it's really hard to remember.
Students now find themselves at the center of a political firestorm as the Trump administration escalates its hardline immigration agenda by targeting international education. In a bold move, Secretary of State Marko Rubio announced that the United States will, quote unquote, aggressively revoke visas of Chinese nationals, especially those linked to the Chinese Communist Party or studying in critical fields like science and technology.
Yep.
Under President Trump's leadership, the U.S. State Department will work with the Department of Homeland Security to aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students, including those with connections to the Chinese Communist Party or studying in critical fields. We will also revise visa criteria to enhance scrutiny of all future visa applications from the People's Republic of China and Hong Kong.
This development comes not just amid simmering diplomatic tensions, but in the thick of a trade war between the world's two largest economies. President Trump's tariffs and Beijing's countermeasures have already roiled global markets and disrupted supply chains. Now the battlefield has expanded from economics to education. A directive backed by the State Department and the Department of Homeland Security halts all new student and exchange visa appointments worldwide. It also expands vetting measures, including enhanced scrutiny of social media accounts. And even though the freeze doesn't cancel existing appointments,
it seems like Americans are agreeing with this.
Significant disruption to the flow of foreign students, especially from China.
Because of this, I immediately canceled the ticket back to China, which made me very sad. I have a lot of arrangements after my return, and I have an internship at the domestic branch of the Clinton Health Access Initiative.
Oh, Clinton, right?
Now I have been forced to rearrange a lot of things, and I have suffered a lot of loss in my academic and personal gains.
Good.
Now, according to official data, there were approximately 277,000 Chinese students in the U.S. during the 2023-2024 academic year. For decades, these students formed a vital pipeline of talent for U.S. research institutions and technology firms, contributing more than $50 billion to the economy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, why are you contributing all of this to people, to a country that don't like you? You know what I'm saying? Like, these people, you see what they do to black people. They're like, go home. They put monkey emojis and all this stuff. Why are we helping these people? Help the black children that I go to school. When I see these kids, they can't read or write their name properly. Put all of that effort into helping these students and making sure the money get to these kids. Because if you put the money to these kids, they will do well. Is that it's not being allocated to them properly. Put the money to these schools because these students will do well if you make sure the money is getting to the right people. But instead, no, you want to give the money to students of a country that hates us because of past grievances. Why are you doing that? And especially they hate freaking black folks. They hate us. And that's why I don't like liberals. Because the liberals are the most racist people of them all. Right? I live next to a bunch of liberals. I can't speak too loud, but I live next to a bunch of liberals. Lesbians and gays and stuff like that. They treat you worse than the far right treat you. They're like, oh, we'll fight for you. We'll do this. Just don't live next to me. So nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. When I was in China, they treated me like first grade shit. Okay? They told me whenever I had a problem, they just go back home, go back and build your own country. And they always assumed that I was from Africa. They never assumed that I was American. So now that I'm in America, why do I want you to come to my country when you treated me like crap when I was in your country? Globalization failed, my friends. That's what I tell you now. Globalization failed. And so why am I helping you guys succeed? When I was in your country, you didn't help me succeed. You were trying to take everything from me at any chance you got. And I'm trying to explain to these fools and these teachers groups, they're too stupid to understand. Because a lot of them don't care because they're white. And a lot of them is white liberals. They have a real good master plan to keep the black man and minorities down. Who gonna pick their cotton if we doing better in the world than we should be doing? Malcolm X already told you. The worst people that are gonna give you trouble is a white liberal. It's not gonna be a conservative white dude. It's gonna be a white liberal that's going to give you the worst of the worst. They're the most racist of any culture, of any people. It's a white liberal. Okay, and that's what it is. So, I mean, that's how it goes. That's of course, Clinton, of course. You remember what they did in Haiti? They stole all the money and resources in Haiti. Where all that money went that was going to Haiti? They had some kind of organization that was supposed to help Haiti. Millions, billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars went through that, and Haiti didn't see none of it. Oh, jeez. And is U.S. foreign policy pushing Laos towards China? That is I guess that's an article that I have to read. But yeah, I mean, why? Right? We don't need them. We don't need the Chinese folks here. We can do everything ourselves. And this is not from a racist point of view. This is from an isolationist point of view. This is from experience where I was treated, how I was treated point of view. Right? We don't want to deal with that, especially black folks. And a lot of black folks, they don't understand the Chinese racism, black Americans. They don't understand the racism that they just say, why'd you do it? Why you didn't marry a black? Why you didn't marry a Chinese? I mean, why you ain't marry a black woman? That's because when you go on those dating apps, they don't want to answer you unless you say something negative. And wasn't no black people in China, and the way they was acting, I'm not into dating because 80% of those relationships, the woman gonna end up with the kid, and the black dude gonna end up with nothing. That's 80% chance that that's gonna happen. All you gotta do is probability. Who's going to be on the side? Because black women are more educated than black men. They know how to run the system. Okay, they have a lot of power in the system that governs us. So it's not black men that have the power in the system that governs us. It's white women and black women that have the system that governs the American people. And so, why do I need to be in it? I already saw it. Maybe I didn't know how to explain it, but I already saw it years ago that you're not going to win in this type of situation. You just got to do a whole new thing. You got to go to Brazil, and get some kind of Brazilian woman, or go to Cuba and get some kind of Cuban woman. You know, well, they got liberal arts degrees that can be used in these systems where, at least where I'm going, where I work, a lot of the leaders are either you got white, is women. So I don't even have to do the race thing. It's women. Women are the one controlling men, and blacks are on the lower rung of society because you basically got to be a supermodel in order to get a decent looking black woman. Okay, okay, that's not fat and all this other kind of stuff. He's a white man. Yeah, the white women are running stuff, but at least they got women that are decently sized and decent looking, right? Black men, we got to deal with the attitude and all that other stuff. So, I mean, we get a double whammy in American culture, right? And then when we go to China, we got to also deal with the double whammy because when these Chinese deal with foreigners, when they talk bad about foreigners, blacks are included. When they talk about blacks are the only one included. It's just us. It's not just this, right? So, I ain't trying to claim the victim. I'm just saying that's just the reality of the situation. 106,000 black women got laid off. Well, we'll see what happened. We'll see what happened. All I know is I'm secure. Okay, I'm secure. And I see that a lot of women that I talk to now, like some women that I talk to now, if they didn't know I'm married, they're gonna try. They're gonna like take a chance. Once they know I'm married, they treat me like the plague. But if I'm not married, if they don't know I'm married, they all in. Like they're interested and stuff like that. But I mean, who will want a woman uh with 3 kids already? This is not the youngins. The youngins still going for the thugs and all that other stuff. Um, it's the ones that are 36, 38, that got 3 or 4 kids already, that got 2 kids already. Nobody wants you if you got a kid already, especially if I was doing what I'm doing, right? Um, and I invested my money and my time right. And if I was single, why would I want to date someone that already got children? Right? If they presume that I was single from the get go, right? They may presume or assume that you are single, maybe because of the way I look or whatever. Oh, he's a nerd. He ain't got no woman, But I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Once they find out that yeah, I got a wife and everything. Oh, now they avoid you like the plague. Now you like you're a virus now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. And wherever I go, if I gotta, they treat you all good, and then they find out from some rumor or something. Oh, Is he got somebody? Oh, now it's like, oh, they treat you like a plague, which they should, right? I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I'm saying like you got like a kid already or two kids. Why would you assume that I want you? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's how it goes. Hey, you got a BBQ grill. Where's that, my teeth? No, I ain't got no grill here. But I'm going to go now. And this was China Ratchet episode 1. Be on the lookout for China Ratchet episode 2 coming in a few days. We're going to talk about the other stuff that's going on in China. So please like and subscribe. If you can, donate to the Patreon. I always got the Patreon. I got to find a Patreon to see some people can donate to Patreon if you can. And yeah, I won't put the Patreon here now, but maybe on the next one, I'll put the Patreon. I did not secure my goal. And I think it's because I'm using desktop and not using this thing, which, you know, when you're using the mobile, I get like 100 people. So when I'm using this, I get like the highest I get is like 15 people. So I know it's because of this thing. So maybe the next time I'll do this when I'm going to work, and that'll be on Monday. So yeah. So guys, I'll see you and peace. And just before I say something, before I finish this, I just want to tell you, Grand Admiral Gaines, we know who you are. Just be yourself and say what you're gonna say. Why you're always changing stuff? I know Grand Admiral Gaines when I see him. Okay, he is a legendary. Grand Admiral Gaines was a legendary black man of China. Okay, and respectfully, you need to act like that. Don't be ashamed of who you were. Okay, so peace. I'm out. Okay, I'm going to leave the studio. Oh, end the stream.